let's just take a step back. What is liquidity providing? Just most simply, it's you giving up your coins and allowing other people to trade with them. So like let's take Hex and USDC, because that's the one we're all familiar with. Some people want to buy Hex with USDC. Some people want to sell Hex for USDC. But in order to do that, you need somebody on the opposite end of that trade in order to do the trade, right? Like I can't buy Hex unless somebody wants to sell me Hex, and I can't sell Hex unless somebody wants to buy Hex. That's just how a trade works. You need two people on the opposite end. What liquidity pools do is it's a technology with decentralized exchanges that a third person can come in and say, you know what, I'm going to take the other end of whatever trade that anybody wants to do with these two coins. So for Hex USDC, a person would come and put up a bunch of Hex, put up a bunch of USDC. And so anybody who wants to buy Hex can put in USDC and take the Hex. And anybody who wants to sell Hex can put in Hex and take the USDC. And that third person, the independent person, we'll call them the market maker because they're the person giving the ability for people to trade. They are taking the other end of every single trade. Now, what that does is that they're always on the bad end of the trade, because if people are buying Hex, the ratio of USDC to Hex is going in such a way where the price of Hex is going up. And then if people are putting in Hex and taking out USDC, the price of Hex is going down because price is just a ratio. So why would somebody want to do that? Why would somebody want to 100% guaranteed always take the bad side of a trade? And the answer to that is fees. And so every time you conduct a trade on Uniswap or any kind of DEX, there's a fee associated with it. And that fee goes 100% to the liquidity providers. And it's distributed proportionally to how much people are providing liquidity. So that's what LPing is. Liquidity providing is you're giving up your coins to allow other people to trade. But by providing that service, you are getting paid to do that. So the idea is for the fees that you earn to outweigh the bad deal you're getting by other people trading with your coins. That's fundamentally what it is. Now, there are two different versions of decentralized exchanges that are popular, and both of them were popularized on Uniswap. There's the version 2 version of Uniswap and the version 3 version. And what the version 2 is, it's everybody puts in equal amounts of the tokens at whatever the ratio currently is, whatever the price is. And all of the liquidity is distributed proportionally or equally across all potential price points. So it's just really one pool, and you remove it and you make your trades, and the ratio changes based on what's in that pool. What V3 does is it allows you to set where you want to put your liquidity. So say Hex is $1, just hypothetically. Well, you can put your liquidity, instead of putting it 100% at 50-50, you can change it where it's like, okay, I want some of my liquidity between 80 cents and 90 cents, some of it between $1 and $1.10. Like you can choose exactly where you want to put your liquidity. And that makes the market more efficient, because instead of the market saying, hey, everybody wants to buy Hex at $1, but we have some people selling it for 10 cents and we have some people selling it for $2. People can say, hey, you can say, instead of selling it at these two extremes, I want to put all of my economic energy at the $1 range. Like it's just concentrating the liquidity so it's more efficient, and that people are able to execute trades a little bit more effectively. Okay. So generally V3 is better, but V2 is more simple. And so if you wanted to open up one of these positions and you're like, hey, you know what, I want to try to earn some of these fees, how would I do that? And you would just go to Uniswap and you would open a position. So this is the swapping page of Uniswap, and you just have to go to this pool place right here. And then you go to new position, and then you just pick whatever pair. So I'll probably just use Hex and USDC for this entire explanation, just to keep it simple. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, there we go. So now if we wanted to say, if we want, we can do the full range, which is what the Uniswap V2 system is, or we can go ahead and specify our range. So let's zoom in a little bit. So this black dot line right here is the current price. And this histogram right here is where all the liquidity currently is. So the larger the bar, the more dollar value there is at that specific price range. And so if you wanted to set up a range, say right here, we could say we wanted to put in 100,000 hex, or let's just do 10,000 hex. At this specific range that we have it at, I'll zoom out a little bit more. At this specific range, we would need to also put up $237 of USDC to meet this ratio. Now, I'll get into this in a bit, but look what happens if I pull this band above the price. All of a sudden, you only have to put in hex. And if I pull both of them below the current price, all of a sudden, you only are able to put in USDC. So we'll talk about that in a second on why that's important. But let's stop there. I think that's a good place to kind of regroup if you got questions on that or if you want me to elaborate on anything.
I mean, I think that I got a couple questions. Let's see which ones are related to what you just talked about. Well, if you want to explain, why you only got to put in one side on that, I think that was that'd be interesting, though.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go. I like explaining this better with the chart because I think the chart does viewing this on the chart makes it easier to understand. Okay. So I was explaining previously how the person who's providing LP is always taking the bad side of the trade. Whereas when the market moves one way, the person providing the liquidity is ending up with more of the thing that's not moving up in price. Or if price is going down, they're ending up more with the thing that's going down in price. Now, in a V3 system, you can go ahead. Wait, let me think if that's where I want to go. I was answering why would somebody do that? Well, and let's visualize what I was just talking about. So let's say this was our liquidity bands right here. And so as price is going up, you're getting more USDC. As price is going down, you're getting more hex if you're the liquidity provider. Now, what happens in a V3 system if the price goes above this blue line, which is your upper band in the liquidity pool, is you end up completely into USDC and 100% out of hex. So let's get the, it's trading, and boom, it pops out, retests, and then it goes to $20, whatever. Now, in this next move up, you're left completely into USDC, and you're not capturing any of this upward price appreciation of hex anymore. That is the example of what impermanent loss is. You have sold out of your coins based on the range that you've set. And because you've done that, you are no longer experiencing any other price appreciation the hex coin is experiencing. So technically what the impermanent loss is, it's the amount of money you have. You subtract the amount of money that you have currently from the amount of money you could have if you never set that position in the first place. And the reason why it's called impermanent is because it's not permanent until you take your position out. So say like the price goes like way up, and then it trends back into this range and we start trading again in here, it starts trading back into here. Well, your position is now earning fees again because people are trading with your coins again. And it wouldn't be permanent if you didn't take out your LP up here and you let it crash back down here. That's why it's called impermanent, because it's not permanent until you take your LP out. Okay. Gotcha. So when you can take advantage of this by pre-assigning a price range that you want to either buy coins or sell coins out if it's outside of the range. Because when you set a liquidity range and the price is within that range, you have to pair the two coins, in this case hex and USDC, at the same rate as like the average price within this range. So you have to pair up at some percentage of both coins. But say, and let's change the color here. Let's go here. Let's say we wanted to sell our hex, when we go at the all-time high. Let's say we wanted to sell our hex somewhere at the all-time high. So right here. We can take our hex that we want to sell at this price, and we can put it completely into here. Now, when I was talking about impermanent loss before, the way that you would experience that in this position is that, say, the price is trending in here, it shoots out, it trades, and then all of a sudden it breaks into your range. So what has happened when the price breaks into a range where you've only put hex on the top side, you are taking the opposite side of the trade, as in somebody is buying hex for that lower band price. So you're giving up your hex and somebody is giving you USDC right now. So now when the price is trading with here, one, you're earning fees, which is great, but your balance is fluctuating between more hex and more USDC. More hex, more USDC, less hex, less USDC. And then eventually, when the price comes out of here and we're up here in this range, you're completely out of hex and into USDC. So you've effectively sold your coins at this range while earning fees for the time at which it was trading within those periods of time. So that's using a permanent loss by only setting your coins on this histogram right here at the top of the price. So such as 10,000 hex above where the price is at. People are buying your coins at that price when the price gets there. And if the price goes higher than that, then you're completely out of the coin that you put in and you're into the other coin. In this case, you're completely out of hex and you're completely into USDC. Now, the same works in the opposite direction. Say you wanted to buy hex at a lower price than what it is now, but you wanted to earn some fees while you're doing it. Say you wanted to buy down here at a penny, and let's say, like 1.2 cents and 1.1 cents, something like that. And we'll change these colors to green. So in this case, we have price trending, and oh no, dumperoonie. It dumps down, and then it dumps into our range right here. So what has happened at this point when it dumps into this range? Because you're putting your liquidity bands on this side of the price. So you're only putting into USD. So you're saying, I only want to buy hex at this specific price that we're setting right here with these bands. So as before, you're taking the opposite side of the trade. So when this price breaks into your range, you are then giving your USDC up to the people that are selling their hex. So now you have a proportion of hex in USDC. And because you have that proportion, when the price goes down outside of the range, you are completely into hex over here, and you've bought at an average price in between these two ranges. Now, in this specific case, if you wanted to keep that hex for any upside potential, you would have to remove your LP, because if it came back into that range, you would be then selling your hex into USDC.